People think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. In today's episode, I and together with my mentor and good friend, Dr. Venga, we're going to cover the topic of mindful leadership. According to Venga, this is a huge topic. He's concerned about being able to cover it in 40 minutes, but I'm confident we can, or at least get to some of the most important parts of it. In today's episode, Dr. Venga is going to be talking about what is mindfulness, what is leadership, why the two are inseparable, and then his simple but really deep approach to becoming mindful, and then how you can project this and extend this as a leader towards managing your people. So I hope you're ready, and good evening, Dr. Venga.
Good evening, Ikram. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
No worries. So, Dr. Venga, let's start with this. I mean, we've all heard the word mindfulness. We all know what leadership is, or at least we've heard what it is. But what's your thoughts? What do you think mindfulness is? And then what do you think leadership is?
Well, Ikram, I can only go back to what was told to me when I first, I was about 20 years old, no? I grew up in Singapore, as you know, and at that point in time, during the Second World War and all that, things were really chaotic, no? Chaotic. And I, at the same time, was trying to learn how to read, write, and speak English, all that. During this period in time, I also dawned on to the idea that how to improve myself. This is something, self-generated thing that I want to do. And therefore, I found every avenue to find a way to improve myself. If there was something somebody told me or spoke to me about, I will go there. Regardless of what I'm doing, I'll go there. I want to pay attention to that. Then that's when I met a monk. And he gave lecture in the Vivekananda Ramakrishna Mission, in Singapore at that time. There's a Ramakrishna Mission. He used to give talks and people used to come and listen to him. He wore the saffron robe and all that. And he happens to be someone who was born in Thailand. He was a Thai, but went to America, and at a very early age, he was already in America. He became some big shot and all that. Unfortunately, his family had then moved. Now I'm going back in time. Before the war, their family had moved on to Singapore, and now they were progressing at the top very well. And he had joined the American Navy because he became an American citizen and all that at the time. When I saw him talk, I was fascinated in the way he could express himself. And the hall used to be full, and there's no table and chairs. You just sit down, squat down, and sit down and watch, okay? And he saw me being a very young chap. Everyone else is 50, 60 years old. So he took a liking to me. Why would a young chap like this come and sit down here and listen to this, Because he was talking about life and what is the meaning of life, and war is bad and all sorts of things, and teaching people how to think about this. So he asked me one day, why are you here? I said, I came to listen to you to talk because I like the way you speak. I like to be like you. He said, like me? I said, yeah, I like this. It's very good. I want to develop myself. And I usually do this again. So he took a liking to me, and well, let's say that I lived with him or he lived with me in that way for 6 years or so. We always spent a lot of time together. And then there was many strange things which he told me to do and all the rest of it, but I'm not going to go to that. The first time I asked him, I have something going around inside my head. Something is going and up and down and moving all the time. It's always coming to me. How can I stop it? Then he said, you are a nervous ape. I said, what? He said, you are a nervous ape. I said, not only you, all humans are nervous ape. They're very nervous. Oh, so how do if I'm a nervous ape, how do I become less nervous? And so it's very difficult. Oh, I said, is it? Oh, yeah. What must I do? He said, first, you must know that you are breathing. I said, what? Breathe. Without air, you will die. I said, really? See, you hold your nose together and your mouth. And within a few seconds, I was terrified, okay? I say, without air, you cannot, I need to know that, okay? Then he said, because you don't pay, you don't even know what's happening inside you. You don't even know what is happening around you. And he said, you can't look at one thing and stay there. I mean, use simple words, no? Very simple. You can't stay there for a short while. You can't. And then he said, you want to do that? First, he said, you must learn to breathe properly. So I said, what will happen? He said, then slowly but steadily, whatever is going around will slowly drop off. And then you will be free. From a nervous monkey, you'll become a monk like me. He compared, you want to be like me, right? You are a nervous ape. Once you have done that, then you'll become a monk like me. So mindfulness basically means is we have so many things that goes around. I'm sure if you Google it, you will find that in 1 second, so many thoughts are coming to you. And usually all these are negative thoughts that has happened in the past. All the negative things will come in front. It's not the good things that you have done. The bad things that happen to you, it come in front. It comes because as a human, you carry a huge hard disk, which got unlimited space, like a cloud. Like cloud, you carry that with you. And everything that you see, you hear, you smell, you taste and touch, all that information is stored inside. So it's a whole lot of things that have gone inside. And those are live data that are gone in. And what happens? These data are there, and from time to time, okay, you touch something, or you see something, or you read something, automatically it goes back to the past. And in some time, that particular thing that you are thinking about can also go forward. Because as a human, you have imagination ability. So once you become aware that I have so many thoughts in my mind, then to become mindful, you must have the ability to control that. That's why the breathing thing is so important. Once you learn how to breathe properly, then you can manage, it's little by little. At first, maybe you can do it for 10 seconds, then 15 seconds, then 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Mindfulness. This is mindful, meaning you got so many, your mind is full, no?
Yeah.
How do you get that out? That's number one. That's mindfulness. Your mind is full, no? Now, leadership is supposed to lead people. People look at you for leadership to do something. They don't know what to do. They're looking at you. You're the leader. Not because they want to see whether you're clever or not. They really don't know what to do. You should lead. And if your mind is full, how can you lead? You'll be like the nervous ape, right? Yes or not?
Yep.
But human needs leadership, right? Human needs connection, right? We can't live alone, right?
Correct.
We need connection, right? We need human connection, right?
That's
Why
right.
do you think we want a wife? Why do you think we want to have children? Why? Connection, right? Okay. And so since we want connection, you can't live in isolation, meaning go to the forest and live on your own. But they also got animal trees and all that. They also got relationship. So you need relationship, connection. You need connection. Otherwise, you will be a very lonely person. And in this world of ours today, everything around us is distraction. Distraction is common, isn't it? And usually all of us have this thing called a phone, isn't it? Very distraction, right?
Correct.
Correct. So we are distracted. So between a mindful person and a leadership, you see the connection. You are supposed to lead. And if you're always constantly with lots of things going around, you can't lead. So in order to become a leader, you must be, first of all, mindful. I ask you, Ikram, in your situation, as a, as a very the highest position that you're holding now, managing hundreds and thousands of people below you, okay? You are coping with it. You're just coping. But when have you got the time to sit down and think through what you have to achieve for the day, for the month, for the year, with so much of thing coming into you? So the leadership part of a human has become even more difficult.
Right.
Right. So you have one side, when the human mind is not free. On the other side, people who must lead do not have the ability, nor can they lead because there's so much of distraction.
Right.
Can you imagine the issue we have or not?
Yes.
It's extremely difficult, isn't it? Huh?
It is. It is.
So how do we manage both? Because you cannot manage without being, you must, I wish there was a way in which we can take out a knife and cut everything out that is not needed and leave it outside and start working. Cannot. You got to work with what we have. You pull one wire out, everything else will jam up. Correct or not?
Yep.
So how do you manage? The first and foremost thing is to understand a simple thing, which I learned long ago, is to recognize that you are breathing. And can you learn how to breathe properly in the first place? How do you breathe properly? What do I mean by breathing properly? The air that goes into your nostril are supposed to be warm. Is it warm air, cold air?
Depends. If you're in an air-conditioned place, I suppose cold air.
Every air that goes in is always very good room temperature. No, No cold, no hot. It's usually room temperature or
Right.
outside temperature, whatever the case. But when it comes out, it'll always be warm.
Mm.
Yes or not?
Yep.
You blow, you'll see warmness. Correct or not? So the air
Correct.
that goes in is natural air. And then when you blow out, it's warm. Now the process is in between. That's why yoga, meaning the air has gone in and gone into your lungs. From the lungs, it has gone into your body and is part of your blood vessels. Meaning union. The air has become part of you. Union. Yoga. You understand that, right? One breath. So when you start to recognize and slowly understand that breathing triggers many things. One of the things that it brings in is oxygen. 22% of the air contains oxygen. How much of the oxygen is taken into your body is something that is individual. No one can give you statistics like the Americans. But we know when you take a deep breath, you are actually consuming more oxygen. It's taken in more of your oxygen.
Right.
What does that mean? That means that it's able to get into your organs and literally do the repairing that has to be done by the various organs that you have in the body. But it needs the juice, the food. One is air, two is the food that you eat. The type of food you eat and the air that you breathe in is crucial, both in trying to download and separate unnecessary things with necessary thinking. So
Right.
then first you must learn that. Once you do that, then to pay attention whenever you are with people, you must understand they're connecting with you. People who report to you connect with you. Are you connecting with them? Are you, you can use big word like empathy, sympathy, all that, emotional intelligence, all that you'll use. But connecting, are you connecting with them? Are you listening to their concern? Or are you already making up your mind as to what should be done, how it should be done, when it should be done? Are you even considering their thought, their process, why they think like this? Can you do that? And the third thing, Ikram,
Yep.
is to remain focused. To remain focused all the time. So what does it mean? It simply means three things. Number one, you must become self-aware of yourself. Okay, awareness. That once you become aware, then you become aware of the people around you that you're dealing with, the people that you intend to lead, aware of their emotion, their fear, their discontent, their issues. See, because they are also nervous ape, They don't want to make mistake, right?
Yeah.
So how do I see their issue? How do they see it? The way I see it and the way they see it, it's never the same. It's not that you wrote a business plan, 965 pages, and each one has got a copy of that. That's all bullshit. Leave it. Okay. At that moment in time, are you with them? Are they with you? And if you are, then you're connecting. Then never, ever come with a preconceived mind. This is what I'm going to get out of this. So by that, a leader, even though he has certain ideas, what he wants, he will try to simulate that idea through their people. What do they think? And then let's do it together. The idea must come from the group, not you telling them what to do. So They will be like the Mando that stands around after the Second World War and tell every fella what to dig, how to dig, where to dig, how deep to dig. He's standing there, hand folded. This is what we learned from the white man. Mando. You understand? That's the leadership we seem to have come up to now. We don't know how to lead. We know how to go to war. But to lead, I think that's because nervous ache. Right. Fear. So people are fearful, people are nervous, and that has a problem. Now, you know, when I try, first of all, when I teach people about managing time, I always tell them, okay, actually, you cannot manage time, no? You got to manage yourself.
That's right. Yeah.
If you don't learn to manage yourself, you cannot manage time, because you see, time is moving all the time. I mean, time is an illusion. Because the world is moving, our universe is moving around, the whole universe is moving around. And then we see the sun for 12 hours. We don't see the sun for 12 hours. So we calculate, this is morning, this afternoon, and we use it. So time is calculated on the basis of when we see the sun, when we don't see the sun. Correct?
Yeah.
So, but it's moving all the time, moving all the time, moving all the time. So can you control it? Can you manage it?
Nope.
You can't even manage yourself. You don't manage the time. So learn to manage yourself. And in the managing yourself comes the moment you can learn to manage your thoughts, which is why I say all the time, writing is the power of trying to put down your thoughts or put down what you're thinking. The more you do, and if your breathing is very good, the more you see, the more you'll write down. And eventually you'll have a lot of things that you've written down, and then you'll strike out this unnecessary, that unnecessary. Then you are slowly erasing it from your mind, not to bother you. So that every day when you get up, your thoughts are centered into the daily schedule. Hey, what is it that you want to achieve? What do you want to do today? What the outcome you cannot control, only can control what you have to do. Correct. So that's why you see in the daily schedule, I schedule them into 20 minutes, and therefore you have from 6 o'clock in the morning to about 7 o'clock. You can do that, like 12 times 3, 36 slots of 20 minutes each, because you cannot concentrate for more than 20 minutes. You cannot. And this has been statistically proven. 64% of the people reporting to work, Gallup poll, 64% of all people reporting to work in the United States of America are really redundant. They are useless. You don't need them, but they just go to work. Okay? From the top to the bottom.
Yep.
And then roughly about 14% or something like that, they are productive 20%. And the balance, very small percentage, are the people that are highly productive. Every company, you remember the 20/80 rule?
Correct.
20% of your employees are producing 100% of the work that has to be done, period. You find the 20, get rid of the 80. Can you do that? Cannot. You still have to have the 80 there. Why? Nervous brain, running around. They're distracted by all sorts of things. So the leadership position in being mindful is the most crucial thing today. Not even 50 years ago, but today. Why? They are being distracted. You can see that every single person in your company has got a handphone. Yes or no?
Yes.
You think that they don't use a handphone for their own personal thing and this, that, the other. They don't. No, 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 no. I have two phones. One for my office and one for my home. Bullshit me again, Lana. BS me la. Ikram, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They are distracted all the time. In this position like that, a mindful leadership, of course, is the crucial. But the leader himself must be aware that people are thinking, people are distracted, people are this. And unless he can manage himself and control his thoughts, he is unable to manage what is in front of him. He just moves along.
Yep.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
So my point is this, one, first thing is just focus on your breath. I mean, just if you feel that you're being distracted, hey, go to a place for 5 minutes or even 1 minute. Go to the toilet, sit down the toilet, and for 1 minute. Of course, all your office toilets are not smelly. It's okay. Correct or not? Yes or not?
Yep.
Okay. So at least for a minute or so, or that's why a person like you will probably have a room where you work and say close, shut, do not disturb sign, and for 1 minute, 2 minutes, just sit down and do that. Ikram, your mother is an expert in this. You know this better than me, right?
I don't know if it's better, but yeah, I'm aware.
You know what to do. But this is how you become mindful. So I don't know whether the listeners that are listening to this understand what I'm saying. The intake of air into your system is very important because that is what keeps you alive. Food for the body, oxygen it needs, right? Where is it coming from? Not from the food you eat. Can you buy oxygen? That's what they put in your nose, right?
Yep.
When you're about to die. Am I right or not?
Yep.
But as a human, you get your ability to take it in. Okay. So manage your thought, mindful, take it out and lead the people. To do that, coupled with that, you have to write down your thoughts. For me, the writing part of it is crucial in becoming a mindful leader. You will notice, the people who just fold their hand and listen to you are not writing down, cannot remember many things. That's true.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But somebody who's writing down can remember 100% of things, right?
Yep.
You know what? I have met and spoken to people who attend meetings with the prime ministers, the presidents, and all that. The president, the big boys, all they don't like to carry anything. They just talk. The most powerful person is the one taking the notes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Correct or not?
Correct.
Our leaders also have become like these presidents also. They don't like to take notes because they think they have a clever mind. They must focus, writing things down, carrying a system, whatever, a piece of paper, writing down there. It's below. I become a laborer. Their mentality. I don't know whether that's true or to me, as I see that, if you're not taking notes, while you're taking notes, your thoughts also coming, isn't it? That that's you right. Put on one side, right?
Yeah.
Correct or not? I met once a CEO of a company. He had 2 notebooks in front of him. Okay. One notebook, I later on found out why he got 2. He told me why. What you are talking, I write down here. What I'm thinking, I write down here. Like that. I said, oh, that's very good. He said, because what you're telling, I will have to process later. I must write down. But I said, you are a CEO of a company. So he said, to me, as you said just now, he said, I'm a nervous monkey. And he just copied me. But this is a fact. Good, clever leaders know this. Okay? Because as they take notes, they begin to, and then the second thing that has to be done is that you actually decide what is it that you want to do today. You want to meet some people, correct? Without forming a conclusion, why are you meeting? Why? What's the reason? I want to discuss this, that, the other. Okay, are you prepared? Have you thought about it? This, that, the other. Are you prepared? Preparation, you prepare yourself. So when you attend the meeting, you have got certain things that you want to explore. Because you never make the decision. You make the decision together with other people.
That's
Because
right.
they are the one that's going to carry it out. Yeah. So you set a goal of what you want to do for the day. No? And the end of each day, you sit down and review. Meaning, I did this morning. Am I happy with what I did? Okay. Simple things like a very, very simple thing. Like I had a meeting. Now, what did I achieve in that meeting? What did I learn from the meeting? Was I productive in that meeting? 3 questions. Answer. What did I achieve in the meeting? Okay. What did I learn from the meeting? Was I productive in the meeting? Simple question. Will trigger you to answer or not?
Yes.
Is that mindful? Becoming mindful or not?
Absolutely.
Huh? You get that? So right goal review is a simple formula that has to be done in this mindful thing. Now remember this, no? Ikram, I don't know, no? Maybe because of my past experience, that I always try to make things simple, no? Because the simpler it is, the easier people will do. No? This is my hope. So while right goal review sounds so simple, but it is a practice that you have to do and never stop. You will never say, I've learned it. You will never become mindful tomorrow. You will never be mindful in 1 week's time. It's a continuous process, continuously improving, going on, improving, and then doing it over and over again over time. Mindful leadership is about that. We are not mindful leaders. See, because that's why we are exploiting this entire, all this weather thing and what they talk about destroying the world is because people are not mindful. They are not aware of what they're doing. They only, you remember I told you the dissatisfied monkey? Okay, the dissatisfied monkey has already 2 coconuts in the hand, but it's not enough. It'll catch on to them, take the 3rd coconut also. This is greed, no? We don't know when we are satisfied. Do you agree with me that we eat more than what we need?
Yes, of course.
We are like that, right? Why?
Greed.
Greedy. Greed, isn't it? You see in the buffet, mountain full of food, and half the time it's not eaten and thrown away. Greed. This is common all over the world, regardless of whether you come from a polished family or unpolished family, also same. So again, Lana, mindful thing. See, I don't want to say this, but you know, it doesn't happen overnight, Lana. No, you can't.
Correct.
What else can I say?
Venga, we have just a few minutes left. So let's come to wrapping up. Basically, what you've said is to be a mindful. First, being mindful and being a leader is inseparable. You have to be it's not an option, right? To be a good leader, you have to be mindful. And in order to become a mindful leader, you've got to, spend a few times a day becoming aware of your breathing, just breathing correctly, right? Deep breathing and so forth. And then is to practice your system, your very simple formula, which is write, goal, review. You write down your thoughts, you write down um, uh, uh, what's going in your head, downloading what's in your head basically to paper, then to have a goal, which is basically to know what you want to achieve, right? And then to constantly review everything you're doing.
Yes, yeah, very good. One of the things that I would like to also finish off by saying this, to me, every single human being is a leader in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's a clerk, he's a leader. But he doesn't recognize that he's a leader. He can be a leader because he does not want to be a leader. Once you open your mouth and you talk, that is the beginning of learning. To tell people, to teach people, to show people. Leadership is in all of us. If you look at a bunch of monkeys, every single monkey in itself is an individual and can survive as an individual. Am I right?
Yes.
But it can also survive as an interdependent monkey. Okay? It can also survive as a multi-dependent monkey. But it also needs someone at the top to lead him. But while he is a leader by himself, any human, he must also have the ability to show people. That means to show people how it could be done. Then you are a leader. You are leading another person. Selfish attitude of not wanting to show people leads to the failure of the individual and the group in particular.
Right.
So is that mindfulness or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So in a very simple way, huh? So first I got to learn it. I got to organize myself and get it done. That's why I tell again and again, if you can't even schedule what you have to do for the day, I don't know what to say. Oh, I got in my Google Calendar. What have you got is an appointment. What you want to do is not in the Google Calendar.
Correct.
Correct enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why the goal part is very important.
Very important. You must know what you want to do. Yes, you can demand from people that work for you. Sure, you pay them salary. Sure. But most of what you're getting is not exactly what you want.
That's right.
You see? That's because of you yourself are not a good leader. You yourself not able to motivate people to do it. You see, people get motivated because they want to follow a leader. Because they don't know the direction, the leader can lead. Isn't it? A mindful leader is very difficult to find today. Talk, God la, plenty talk la, no? But the mindful leader, very difficult to find. Okay?
Oh, yep. Thank you, Venga. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of our episode for this month. And to our viewers out there, thank you for tuning in and listening to this episode on mindful leadership. If you've got any questions at all, please type them down in the comment section below. You can drop us a direct message on Facebook. Thank you again. Our next personal development for entrepreneurs is happening as usual on the first Wednesday of November, which is November 1st at 8 p.m. Good night.